Hey guys, Jack Spirko here. I'm going to give you a real quick overview of the new homestead, probably in a couple short segment videos here. We're standing in the back of the house right now, so you can see that's the house. This piece over here to the left, this one-story only piece, that's the old garage. It was done into a conversion. We'll do some stuff on the inside when it's actually cleaned up. There's my new man cave. That'll shoot better from the front, so I'll do it there. I've got another steel building here, and really what I wanted to show you with this video is the gardens I was talking about on the recent episode. They do need a lot of work, but we're probably just going to run with them mostly as they are. They're about 25 feet long, and there's 8 beds. There's some other beds set up that we'll get to later, but this is the main garden that the original homeowner had in place, and you can see they have an irrigation system put in. On some levels, it was quite ingenious what they did. You can see they have sprinkler heads in each bed. They're all pretty much the same. And they have these pipes laid out here. The problem with PVC is if you don't bury it, it gets brittle and it breaks. And every time I fix a piece of this, I find another piece that's broken. So what I'm going to do this weekend, and I'll show you kind of the distribution they have here. They have this hose bib right here. This actually brings the water from the well that's over in that area underground, and that's in good shape, though I did have to fix it. And then it uses that hose and pushes into this monstrosity of a distribution network here. And every time, like I said, I fix a piece, I find another piece that's broken, and I know I've got pipes broken in the beds. So it's all going to go away, and we'll use this water distribution hose bib here to put drip irrigation into all 8 of these beds. We'll do that in a way where it can be recycled, because I have a feeling these beds are going to get not just major overhauls, but even possibly moved when Jeff Lawton gets out here. And we'll wrap this video up there, and I'll show you some other parts of the... So here's the front of the house, and I'll take you over there in a bit and show you. That was a goat barn they put in. There's a paddock over there of about 1 acre. This area here that the house sits on from front to back is about 1 acre. You see the house is... really beautiful looking from the outside. The inside neat, we'll just leave it as a lot of work. There's a better view and a little bit better scale of the garage. This is where we'll be conducting a lot of the parts of our workshops. There's the somewhat infamous Jetta Diesel TDI, the original mobile studio. And then you can see I have a lot of live oaks. Some of them are a bit sick. Most of the ones out here in this front piece are pretty nice. I've got a pretty good size piece of land to work with out here, even in the front yard. You can see the neighbors, little dogs over there barking in their greenhouse. Always good to have gardening neighbors. So I do have neighbors relatively close, but a lot of space, and they seem like really good folks. Got a little bit more going on here with some more live oaks, and I'll show you some of the sick ones in a bit. They said we've got some problems around here. A little bit better view of the garage. That's going to be my man cave. You hear the Yorkshire Terrier barking at Max. There's an oak that's kind of sick right here. Now, these are live oaks. They're not supposed to lose their leaves. And you can see these trees are just, they've had it. And that's from that oak mold. We'll have to take these out. They've got a few leaves on them, but they probably should go. There's irrigation they brought over here. Show you one of my little projects yesterday and trying to put all of this back together. There's a compost bin. We're kind of back around. There's the gardens over there to give you a view from where we were from original. Nice wood pile they left us. And here's yet another spot that I found. Even left my stuff out here. I dug up and replaced a pipe. If you're doing a lot of work with PVC, get yourself a tool that looks like this. It's much easier to cut PVC with than a hacksaw, especially in the ground. And you see they got some fruit trees they planted. They put irrigation in all of them, and then they moved, and there was no one here to turn the irrigation on. So all of these trees are dead. But the irrigation infrastructure is out here. And here you can see another bed that they put together. And I think we might turn this into the sweet potato bed. Either that or a little mini cornfield this year. I think that's a good sized bed to put something in. It's not a double reach bed like the other ones. And there you go. That's it for this side. I'm going to take you out and show you the paddock now, and a little bit of this rock I was talking about. Okay, now I'm going to take you over to the, there's about a 1 acre paddock fenced off here. You got double gates here. There's a gate up there that control access to it. This is completely fenced in, which will be nice to keep the dogs and livestock apart when I want them. I've got chain link across the back, and I've got basically 5-foot horse fencing with T-posts separating those. And I've got 2 small paddocks here that were created for the goats. I'll talk about that in a moment. I wanted to show you over here, though, what I've been talking about. Looks like somebody decided to start doing a dam here. And it may or may not work. I've got to talk to Jeff about this. But you can see this rock here in the ground, and that looks like concrete. But if I get close to it, and this actually is a piece of concrete, but this stuff right here, I don't know if you can see it, there's shells in there. That's the ancient ocean floor underneath Texas, and it happens to be pretty close to the surface. It's only about a foot deep right here where that piece of outcrop rock is. Over here you can see a dilapidated mobile home, and I was willing to buy this property even though that's on the adjacent property because it's so dilapidated no one's ever going to live in there. And my hope is there's about an acre lot there that one guy owns. I'm going to try to buy that from him and extend this eventually. Doesn't look like he's doing much with it. He'd probably be happy to get rid of it. And I've got a pretty open pasture here. And as you can see, specifically in some areas, it has been overgrazed. This is interesting how you can actually tell the story of what happened to an area. So these people had goats. They had more goats than they probably should have on this land, and they weren't moving them around. They were housing them in this little barn here. And so once they figured that out, they used hog fencing and T-posts, and they put in these 2 small paddocks, and they started bringing feed to the goats to get them off the pasture. Well, let me show you what that did. Anyway, real quick, we'll look inside I don't know how all the lights in here, but they even left me some hay. This will be a great place to keep the chickens and the ducks, which is my primary livestock I'm going to have. But this is what happens when you confine goats and don't move them. You get this. Pretty well abused. Well, we'll seed this and we'll get some rotational poultry on it. We'll rehab it. But this is what they did. And it's good soil. It's just been taken down bare by the goats being in one place for too long. The smaller one over here, they must have not used as much. It's rehabbed itself quite a bit already. I wanted to show you this. Unfortunately, you can't touch it. This log feels like silk from being worn down by the goats. It's kind of an interesting little thing that will make some kind of feature on the property. So then, again, this whole enclosed paddock here is right at an acre. I've got a double gate there. I've met those neighbors across the street. They're great people into hunting and fishing and things like that. They own 3 German Shepherds, and there's actually a family. There's that house you can see and 2 more behind it. They're all family members that bought that land together. So that's it. That's the new homestead in a nutshell. We'll have a lot more coming for you soon. And we'll be rehabbing this pasture and let you know how that works. And with that, appreciate all of y'all that watch the podcast or listen to the podcast or watch YouTube videos. And look forward to a lot of progress. We'll be starting this weekend with redoing the irrigation down there. We'll try to get all of this documented.